Wir haben einen neuen Partner, der Timeless heißt. Ja, es ist eine Seite, wo man unterschiedliche Assets oder Teile davon kaufen kann. Die sind auf uns zugekommen und haben gefragt, ob man Lust darauf hätte, etwas zusammenzumachen. Und man hat die Möglichkeit, verschiedene Produkte zu kaufen, bei denen ich mich jetzt tatsächlich nicht auskenne. Also Sneaker, Kunst, unter anderem hier Michael Jackson Jacke, die er auf einer Tour getragen hat. Und exclusive auch hier einen Job von der Uhr, die wir verkauft haben. Und zwar habe ich gesagt, wenn wir so ein Projekt angehen, dann muss natürlich gewährleistet werden, dass das Produkt, welches dann auch am Ende verkauft wird, das Richtige ist und auch werthaltig ist. Wir haben uns dazu entschieden, im ersten Schritt die National Classic war das. Und zwar ist es die war kurzzeitig bei uns online. Es ist eine 40 Stück limitierte Uhr, die ist sonst in dieser Ausführung, die niemals gebaut worden ist. Das Besondere hierbei ist, dass ein Druck auf dem Ziffernblatt vorgenommen wurde. Sowas existiert bei Audemars nur extrem selten, wird heute gar nicht mehr gemacht. Es gibt nur noch auf der Rückseite halt spezielle Gravierungen. Ich habe gestern zum Beispiel auch so eine QE Cup aus dem Jahr 2015 gepostet. Das war zu der Zeit, war das ein Modell, welches in einer 40er Auflage gebaut wurde. Bei dieser Uhr ist der Plan wie folgt. Also wenn ihr euch über den Link anmeldet, kriegt ihr noch 10 Euro Gutscheine und so weiter, zeige ich aber später noch. Das Spannende hier dran ist, dass ihr diese Uhr nicht einzeln kauft. Natürlich muss man darauf hinweisen, dass wenn man die Möglichkeit hat, eine Uhr als einzelne Position zu kaufen, dann ist man halt der Inhaber, kann sie angucken, das ist jetzt was anderes. Man kann es als eine Art Sparplan sehen. Das heißt, wenn man jetzt hier etwas investiert, dann kann man auch vorzeitig schon einen Verkauf stattfinden lassen über dieses Trading-Portal. Das heißt, wenn man hier unten auf Trading geht, kann man auch schon vorangegangene Jobs sich anschauen. Die haben beispielsweise, habe ich jetzt nicht verifiziert, sie bieten zum Beispiel Porsche an, dass man von Autos einen Anteil kaufen kann, genauso wie jede Menge Sneaker. Hier gab es eine 5402 und eine 14790 ST. Die beiden Uhren kenne ich jetzt tatsächlich nicht. Um jetzt nochmal hier drauf einzugehen, das heißt, ihr habt die Möglichkeit, bis 10.000 Euro Anteile zu kaufen. Normalerweise nimmt man halt 50 Euro in die Hand und kann dann halt schauen, okay, man möchte mehr oder weniger. Den Gutschein von 10 Euro, der wird dann hier drauf auch noch angerechnet. Ne? Das ist der Plan. Der Preis wird hier angesetzt mit 67.000 Euro. Das war auch mein Verkaufspreis an die Plattform. Dann hat Timeless gesagt, okay, wir kaufen die Uhr und eröffnen sie unserer Community. Das Angebot geht jetzt noch bis 19 Uhr. Um 19 Uhr wird es wieder geclosed und der reguläre Job, das ist jetzt nur für die Leute, die über diesen Link darauf zugreifen und am, ich glaube, 28. oder Ende des Monats auf jeden Fall findet der Job dann nochmal statt für alle anderen Leute und so ist das Konzept von denen aufgebaut. Ich finde es sehr, sehr interessant, wenn wir nochmal die Eigenschaften der Uhr durchgehen. Wir haben hier, ich zeige euch nochmal von den Bildern her. Zu der Uhr gehört natürlich mehr als nur der Zeitmesser als solches. Wir haben hier die originale Box und die Papiere auch mit dabei. Der Karton ist auch passend zur Uhr, original. Der Zustand der Uhr ist exzellent. Wir haben hier auf der Rückseite auch nochmal eine Gravur. Die Anstöße sowie die Lünette ist aus Roségold und ich war damals von der Uhr begeistert. Das erste Mal, dass ich diese Uhr zu dem Zeitpunkt auch hatte. Ja, ein sehr, sehr spannendes Modell und ich denke mal für all diejenigen, die jetzt das erste Mal quasi damit in Kontakt kommen oder versuchen, etwas Geld anzulegen, ist das eine super Sache. Falls ihr vorzeitig aussteigen wollt, habt ihr damit auch die Möglichkeit. Da können wir uns eine Sache sicher sein, nach 6 Jahren wird die Performance von so einem Asset also überproportional sein. Ich meine, so eine Uhr hat vor 6 Jahren vielleicht 7.000 Euro gekostet. Und heute haben wir ein sehr, sehr krasses Video für euch vorbereitet. Ich habe es mir lange aufbewahrt und zwar, wir haben von Hodinkee ein Video, wo Ed Sheeran seine Uhrenkollektion vorstellt. Ist ein bisschen länger, deswegen skippen wir wahrscheinlich ein bisschen durch und wir gehen jetzt direkt rein ins Video. Alter, das ist die Limited Edition von Hodinkee gewesen. Marc, finde ich auch sehr, sehr nice. Das ist schon ein heftiges Video, das da stattgefunden hat.
Welcome to the show, man.
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are, finally.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, dude, it's my pleasure. So what are you doing in town?
I had a studio session that I had to get to. I played the Empire State yesterday, and then I shot a music video last night, and then I had the Today Show today. I'm here with you, and then I play the Irving Plaza tonight, and then tomorrow I do MSG.
MSG, I've heard of that.
Ganz seltene... Marc, atme. Das sieht aus, als würdest du ersticken. Ja.
Everyone says a man just needs one watch.
That's right.
Or woman. You just need one watch for life and blah blah blah. And I went and it was a what was it, 41mm rose gold.
Nee.
Hublot Big Bang.
Guck dir mal den Ed Sheeran an. Hier mit einer Big Bang. In Rose Gold hat er sich gedacht, ich steig direkt ein.
Don't judge me. And I loved it, and that was my watch, and it had like a kind of Kevlar strap in it, and I wore it for ages, ages, and it was for me that was it, and I was done. And then I did another tour, and then I started looking at an AP Volcano, and I was like quite like that. So that was when the
ja gut, die mit seinen Haaren ist natürlich fresh, ne? Ist cool.
One, and you just get one more. Then it's just like, well, then I get another one.
Ja, stimmt, du hast recht hier mit der Haarfarbe.
Patek Nautilus. And I think it's 57.
Ach, guck mal, das war seine erste Nautilus. 75620.
26. And I was playing in New York. I got booked for a Bar Mitzvah. And they said, what's your fee?
Das, habt ihr gerade zugehört? Er war gebucht für eine Bar Mitzvah. Wisst ihr, was das hier heißt? Da wurde das hier gezahlt. Die Bar Mitzvah hat diese Uhr finanziert. Zum größten Teil. Hier rein. Hier rein. Da kommt das Geld. Hier rein. Zack. Bar Mitzvah Geld hier rein. Zack. Bar Mitzvah Geld hier rein. Ja.
I'd been looking at it online and I just went, that. Not knowing the price. I was just like, I knew I wanted this watch, so I got that, and that's when I think everything changed. I think then it was like, like you wear a Hublot Big Bang out, certain people notice it. Sure. You wear a Royal Oak out, certain people notice it. You wear a Nautilus out, that's when the watch heads start going, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then, so that was when I met John at the Grammys, and he saw I was wearing that, and then we got talking about that, and he sent me a 5970, and he said, you should buy this. And I remember it was like crazy.
Wow, krass. Er hat ihn geinfluenced. Unser Man John Mayer hat ihn geinfluenced. 5970. Papau. Klassische Chronograph.
In hindsight, it's about 4 times that now. Yeah. But I remember being like, I'm not going to do that, John. Like, I'm not like serious.
We're not there
like you. And then I kept looking at it, and then he was touring a bit more, and I kept looking at it and touring a bit more, and then it's one of those things where it would just be the next level up. And interestingly,
Niklas, wir haben uns das Video bei Gott noch nicht angeschaut.
I got put on a list for a Tiffany 5711 in 2015 or something like that. And I was like, it's going to come when it comes, like, I don't know, like, how long. Yeah. And it arrived, Kelly from Tiffany hit me and she was like, oh, we've gotten, this is like a year ago. Yeah. I was like, oh, great. And it arrived the morning that my daughter was born. Like, it literally like came to the front door, and then suddenly we were going to the hospital, and I had this thing on my wrist. And it's now, I don't know if I ever need another watch. This is like the lucky charm of lucky charms. So this is the one that I pretty much wear all the time now.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about there from the watch guy perspective and life, of course. But I think it's important to point out to the listeners at home that Ed Sheeran had to wait how many years to get a 5711?
5, yeah.
And so like I think
Tiffany.
Hat für eine 5711 Tiffany 5 Jahre gewartet.
Tiffany,
obviously.
Tiffany sound.
I think like there's so many people out there that just assume somebody such as yourself, would say, oh, like Ed will get it whenever he wants, but it's really not.
Well, I think there's some things. I mean, obviously, like as you know, like with authorized dealers, like you get higher on the list the more and more you get. So like if you've bought 50 watches with Rolex and they bring out a new one that's hard to get, like you're probably going to get it before someone else. And with, I've been buying Patek for the best part of like 10 years, and I just like It's not that I get stuff instantly. Like John definitely gets stuff before me. I mean, the stuff that John's got.
He's in a different league from almost everything.
Yeah. But then John's been doing it for the best part of 20 years or 25 years or whatever. But yeah, like there's definitely still stuff that I wait for. Like if I ordered a like standard Royal Oak tomorrow, I'd probably have to wait a couple of years for it.
Right. It's funny you mentioned like the Nautilus is kind of where you started, and it's kind of like now where you are as well. Like the watch for me, that was that. Like I had a Submariner, had the Speedmaster, but the first great watch was a 5402 Royal Oak, like the A series Royal Oak, and that happened when I went to go visit AP. It was the first watchmaker I ever.
You got an AP on today?
And I'm wearing an AP today, and it's the exact same thing. It's like kind of where you start is kind of where you end up as well. And of course I wear a lot of other things, but like on a random day, whatever day of the week it is, Thursday I think, with Ed Sheeran, I'm wearing a Royal Oak. It's amazing how you kind of complete that circle often with watch.
Yeah, and I feel for me the only time
Warum nicht auf dem Graumarkt kaufen? Das müsst du ihn fragen.
I would ever take this off is if I was doing like an event, and because I feel like I've put too much into it to not wear anything ever again. But I think having something that is like I would love to hand this down, and this feels like one. It has a story behind it now. It's not just I got on a list and I got a watch that was hard to get. It's like I can't say how fortuitous it was. It literally arrived as we were leaving.
That's amazing. And sized for you and everything.
Well, I have the kit in my backpack.
I mean, as you should.
Yeah. Well, no, I basically like whenever I go into a watch place and I don't know how to remove the links, I'll get them to teach me, and then I'll buy the kit, and I have resizing kit in my stuff just in case.
Just in case. You
might be anywhere in the world and get something. I sometimes would buy like a vintage. I was in Japan and I bought a
Mit den Haaren ist zu auffällig auf dem Graumarkt.
Submariner, and was able to size it myself and then play the show that night with it on. And I don't know, I feel weird like having to wait a few days to then go in and then wait. It takes so long to then take the links out and stuff. And so I just have the little screw thing that pokes them out.
That's amazing. So while we're on the topic of Nautilus, we have to talk about like the hottest news in the watch world right now, which is the Tiffany Blue Dial Nautilus. What do you think?
I like the fact that, I mean, I'm a big fan of Tiffany stamps. And what's so weird is I didn't know about Tiffany stamps until watching John on Talking Watches, because he had the same Aquanaut as me, Tiffany stamped as well. Mine was Tiffany stamped, and I didn't really know that was a thing. I just bought them from Tiffany in New York because Kelly was my contact, and so I had sort of like 5, 6, 7 watches that all had this tiny stamp on. As soon as he said that, and he was like, "Oh, but look closer and look closer," I was like, "Is that a thing?" And yeah, so from there, but I never really knew that it was, because it was never like a big fanfare to get a Tiffany watch. Like now, as I said, the first time I walked into Tiffany in New York, there was like 3 Aquanauts just in a case that you could just go, "Oh, maybe this one, this one, and this one." Like it really has changed. But yeah, on the subject. I love 5711s with different dials. This is, I mean, it's very bright.
It is.
It's very bright.
Also, mein lieber Freund Ed Sheeran will auch so einen Ballermann. Der möchte auch so eine Uhr. Ihr merkt ihr doch schon. Er mag Ziffernblätter. Er mag auch die Tiffany.
As you said, if you got one, I'd say it's more of a, well, maybe it's not a female watch, but Tiffany is so in line with that.
With jewelry, with that, I mean, this is such a specific look. You know, that watch, even this watch kind of goes with everything. That is a very specific look with a bright blue dial.
I probably would rock it though.
I kind of have to.
I like it. I think it's. I mean, I'm interested to see what they do next with
the Nautilus.
The Nautilus, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I imagine it's. Do you think they revert to the 3800?
Welche Duft passt zum Business-Treffen? Haben wir schon oft drüber gesprochen. Oxford wäre meine erste Empfehlung.
Like, is that the
smaller? You mean?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it'll probably. I would hope they get a new movement. We get a new movement in it. I would guess like 1 millimeter larger. And again, I don't know anything. I haven't spoken to anybody, to be clear. Well, I lie a little bit, but all for the sake of the show. No, I truly don't know about that. I think it's. I would guess a little bit larger. I think we'll probably go back to like a blue dial, like a gray, maybe gray, like a real proper gray. You need something that is very kind of up the center, like like that appeals to everyone. And Tiffany blue does not, obviously. It does because everybody just wants it because it's so hot right now. But yeah, I think we'll get a new movement, a slightly larger case, maybe something in a new metal like a titanium or something, which I think a lot of people.
That would be that. Yeah.
I'm
super into that.
I think Patek and Rolex, like the two big brands out there, like I think people don't think they pay attention. Like they definitely do. Like they're paying attention to. Like if you look at the only watch clock that they did this year, like that is basically inspired by a James Ward Packard clock from the probably 30s. Like they're dialed. They know exactly what they're doing. And even the stuff that like a lot of people don't pay attention to, like the ultrasonic split seconds, like those all have historical references. And you know, as you likely know, Patek made some amazing watches in titanium probably 10, 20 years ago that now belong to a prominent collector. And I wouldn't be surprised if that came into the collection in some way. Again, I truly know nothing on that, but I could see it being a thing. And there's rumors of Rolex doing a titanium watch. You may have seen.
I mean, I don't know why more people don't. I think it's a great metal.
I completely agree. I mean, when we did our Laurent Ferrier, which I showed you before, the first one we did was titanium because it's like that's a travel watch. You want something light and easy. That's
Is it
hard.
difficult metal to work with?
It's harder. It's harder, but it's not. I mean, it's not that hard, right?
Yeah.
They figured it out. So there shouldn't be a premium. The only time you get a premium with titanium is really just because like you have to buy the material and to machine it is slightly more complicated.
Yeah. Mate, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I mean, I'm interested to see when the first one turns up on the grey market.
How quick do you think? I think soon.
I don't know, man, because 170 people. I don't know, because I think that the people that they're dishing them out to. And it's all gonna be people
that they know very well.
Yeah,
I think so. And it's also interesting because like as you may have read, like it's basically up to Tiffany who gets these watches. Like if you don't have a relationship with Tiffany, you're not getting the watch, you know. And I'm sure we both know.
I found out. I emailed like 5 different people that usually would like that, and
Nope.
Well, one of them came back, so we'll see.
No, it's an unusual thing to give a retailer that much kind of clout in the decision making. You know, really, I mean, as Thierry said in that story, like it's up to Tiffany. If Tiffany, you know, it could end up going to people that may not have been Patek buyers, but maybe they're big jewelry clients or something like that.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, no, it's
almost cooler as well. I think. I think like. As you well know, I mean, you have a collection and I have a collection, and if you manage to get this would just be, you know, a great part of your collection. But it would almost be cooler if it went to a big jewelry buyer and it was their only watch that they wore.
Really
that would kind of be cooler.
To see that on the wrist of a woman or somebody that is just like, as you said, kind of a diehard.
Who just loves the fact, that it's a Tiffany watch.
Yeah, and I think those are the watches like on vintage stuff that kind of really attract me. It's like this is just a watch. It's part of your life. It's not precious. It's just part of you. And I think probably like you wear that watch, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else are you into these days?
Yeah, I've got into like commissions.
Yeah.
Commissions. I love small watch brands. There's one in Japan called Nakagawa, and I met them when I was over there. Really sweet guys.
Ah, okay, was ganz Neues.
Yeah, it's like I'd say it's similar to a Calatrava. It's 38 millimeters. It's like a really beautiful watch. Yeah, and Roger Smith, he made a kind of
Old Flamingo muss ich ihm mal schicken, aber ich habe seine Adresse nicht.
Yeah, but they look exactly the same, with kind of cherry blossom engravings, like a really simple movement. And
so this is kind of like breaking news in the watch world. The fact that Ed Sheeran owns a Roger Smith, which is like the deepest cut. You get two. Yeah. It's a very deep cut in the watch world.
Yeah, I think because he.
So Leute, wir haben jetzt 14 Minuten. Ich sag euch so, wie es ist. Wir machen beim anderen Mal weiter. Das ist eine sehr lange Geschichte. Er holt auf jeden Fall sehr weit aus. Ist sehr spannend, aber wir müssen es nochmal ein bisschen splitten. Ja?